Taking his game to new heights. Better than 24 points over his last 5.
How about 38, the Big East tournament?
Here comes Kaluma taking contact.
He's overcome 3 surgeries on his left foot. Remember, he missed all of last season. Basically missed 2 calendar years. The perseverance that he has shown to put it all together this season. Finally getting a chance to play in the tournament, basically in what was his last opportunity. And here he is. Look at Kaluma.
Shedrick took away the roll, but that opened up the middle for Chaz Lanier.
The transfer from North Florida, a Nashville native who averaged just under 18 points per game this season.
Well, look at Zakai Ziegler. He just sticks with you like glue.
And the lay-in for Kaluma. You know what? Mark drives, a lot of traffic, and Darlin Stone-Dubar got a piece of it. Kaluma knocks down a three.
Got Akpara rolling, and Meshack just cut from the left corner. Beautiful offense in transition by Tennessee.
And the lead is now up to 7. Mark picked up his dribble, finds Kaluma. Going to work on Milicic, another tough basket.
Coleman right into Carter.
Coleman just right into the chest of Onyema, who defended him and then came down with a rebound. Kaluma. That was gorgeous.
By Jordan Pope to get down there and stick his nose in there and rebound. Help the big guys out. This is going to be a 5-man job for Texas.
A&M has missed 16 shots. They have 2 offensive rebounds. On the season, they get 42% of their misses. Number 1 in the nation. Johnson into some trouble, finds Kaluma, who scores again.
By Coleman to get on the floor.
Phelps almost banked it in, but it's Texas ball.
And a wonderful block out by Arthur Kaluma on Payne. He just locked him to the floor.
Texas doing the hard things very well at the defensive end here today. Kaluma, it will count. Taylor the step back over Weaver. Tipped around, but gathered in by Mark.
Don't like that shot. Not a pass being made.
Can Trey Johnson get himself going? Oh, a beautiful pass.
Under blue.
Johnson to inbound to Mark. Here we go. Coleman over to help. Shedrick to Kaluma. 10 to shoot. Kaluma drives and hits. What a play. Player for Houston, Arkansas. Kaluma aggressively to the rim. McLaughlin did enough to stop him, but not the second time. By Kaluma to stay in front of him. Tanner gets open for 3. Carey will save it, but Kendall Weaver's got it. Great bounce pass ahead to Kaluma for the slam.
And he's always been able to push it in transition. A staple at Michigan State, where he played the first part of his career.
His first points of the game. Kaluma, a nice bit of...
It doesn't matter where he is on the floor in the half court. You have to be with him on the catch. You should never have to close out to Tyler Nickel. You should be that close to him.
So each team now with 1 made 3. Kaluma!
Trey Johnson without a field goal in the first half. Nearly changed there. Fierce missed the layup.
Probably not going to get another or as many easy looks at it as that was.
Kaluma, Wagee inside, and Arthur Kaluma, the 2.
That better. He saw that shot clock right there. I thought he was going to pull from the top of the key, but what a quick, strong move. Finished with the left. Jalen Moore. He was going to make a big bucket at some point. That was it.
Gamecocks and Longhorns tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern on ESPN for the SEC Tournament Championship. Arthur Kaluma muscles interior of the arena that helped spark a Sooner comeback.
Rally balloon,
if you will. Here's Kaluma. Giant step in the layup. Well, he touched every inch of the rim. And the Sooners starting to heat up. You look over the course of their last 4 games, shooting over 50% from the floor, over 40% from 3. and nearly 90 points per contest. And perhaps trending in that direction tonight. Kaluma cleared out some space, lays it in.
Yeah, great move.
Now it's Johnson, the skip pass, whipped over to Kaluma. That's a three! Bulldogs by 6, suddenly. Kaluma off the heel, Kent taps it to himself. Approaching 4 minutes to play in the half.
Yeah, these are wide open looks that Texas is getting.
Oh, Kaluma the layup, I'm not sure. 8, lead down to 4. Tremont Martin off the hill, Kaluma tracks it down. Stop and pop, and it's good.
7 assists on, I think, 12 made baskets now. So they've done a nice job of really moving the basketball.
Kaluma on the drop.
6'9" sophomore from Florida, Dylan James, getting a 4th start the last 5 games. Mike White said to his pregame, he's a winning player. Kaluma cans a 3. Game. You get a little color mixed in. Jordan Pope pulls from deep and ran down his own miss. Texas trying to hang around, down by those 19, inside of 8 to go. And Trey Johnson scoreless out of halftime. Great catch by Pryor, climbing the ladder. Kaluma, look out, lays it in. Demery, shadowed by Pryor. Demery pulls up, can't stick it, and the rebound to Jordan Pope. Texas has got to go. Trey Johnson still stuck on 9 points, all in the first half. Kaluma from straight up.
The year, Rhode Island, only person in Rhode Island history to win it as a A-10 championship as a player and coach. Good finish
by Kaluma. Vandy, who got a big win over Missouri today. Demery with a step back, no. Pope clears it for the Horns. Pope, met on the baseline by Surreal. Hanging with Pope very nicely. Kaluma another 3, and he hits this one. That's the 3rd.
Texas is shooting just 6 for 21 in this game. Of those 6 makes, 3 of them belong to Trey Johnson. And the freshman guarded by another freshman in Knox. To the high post, and Kaluma off the curl. Great execution on January 18th. Top prospects in the game of college basketball. And you mentioned the new faces for Arkansas. Brazil, the only holdover. Kaluma blindly throws it in.
Everybody, Brazil.
On their feet of Bud Walton. Kaluma into Brazil, finishes past Ivičić. 4 in, according to Joe Lunardi. Arkansas has turned its season around. Wagner's floater is off the mark, and they've done it despite injuries. Mentioned Boogie Fland has been out since January 18th. The dude Thero is not in the building tonight. He's getting a second opinion on his knee with a trip out to Los Angeles. Trey Johnson, leading scorer for Texas. Pryor and Kaluma with 6 apiece. Here's Kaluma getting a deep, and it reverses it on Ivičić. He gets
the jump shot in a while, and they'll never forget the out-of-bounds play against LSU where he threw it in.
Kaluma, the answer.
The transfer from Michigan State has meant so much. McLaughlin, a very underrated big in this league, who is a menace on the offensive glass. Texas has had to mix up their starting 5 again. No Tremont Mark in this game, and there's an and 1. Pivoting inside, and missing that time was Magnon. This is Johnson. Johnson drops off a beautiful pass, and the bucket by Kaluma. McLaughlin shoots 40% from behind the arc. What a find he's been, the transfer from Boston College. Kaluma on a blow-by. And they're going to need...
But it should go up now without Fland. But that guy right there, Wagner, he loves to get to that left hand. I've not seen a right-hand point guard use his left hand more and try to get to that left side of the rim.
Here's the starting 5 for Texas. They rolled the same 5 out pretty much
predominantly since Kendall Weaver went on the shelf with a hip injury. He practiced today, but is still a couple of weeks away from getting on the floor for the Longhorns. Kaluma with the drive and a reverse jam. Woo. Did you miss bunnies like that, though? Is that how you missed them?
No, it was like his second one with the shot clock. Yeah.
Texas takeaway. Here's the lob. That's a good-looking shot.
The 18 in the first half.
Kaluma takes it all the way. Whoa! Mess saves it off the window.
Oh, my goodness. 6'5", and a whole lot of vert shown on that play. That might be the dunk of the year for LSU. Texas comes right back.
And that's not a knock on Pierce. He will be a great point guard in the NBA. Oh, there's a role you would never get in the count.
Texas gets back on defense. Carter absorbs the contact and missed the bunny. Everything but the finish. Now Texas the other way. Johnson defers. Strong finish in transition. It's Kaluma. We don't have that problem anymore, I'm sad to say. Trying to thread the needle that time was Miller, but that's another steal for Texas. They work it around the horn. Great pass by the freshman to the weaving veteran Arthur.
He waves them off or it leads to a double team. That time he attacks it, leads to an open dunk.
Arthur Kaluma back in action, missed the A&M game with a knee injury, had a calf injury the week before against Florida. And he's back in the starting lineup tonight. Mark, size advantage, gives it up. Larry, guarded by Padula. Kaluma lets it fly and cashes it in.
Offense. They just got to get some of those transition buckets, and when they want to get to the free throw line more, a big way to get there is when the defense is backpedaling and you initiate the contact.
Giving the crowd an opportunity to get back into it. Kaluma going one-on-one, powers his way in, and Arthur Kaluma leading by 2.
Got stuck in there.
Here's Pryor for 3. Mark on the glass. Remember, Texas had a 22-point comeback on Saturday against Texas A&M, tied for the largest known comeback in Texas basketball history. Still no Trey Johnson on the floor. Kaluma finger roll.
That is if he's not the same offensive player.
He averages 11 a game. He's got 3 tonight. Padula picks up Kaluma. Kaluma trying to muscle in. Banks it in. Padula will take a seat. And Jamin Brakefield trying to guard Kaluma, who slips past him. Here's Mark. This match with Dia. Plays in the post. Kaluma got it. A really good.
Matched up with his former high school teammate Onyema. Trying to go glass. And the tip-in is good. Warwick fighting his way inside. Cannot get the roll. It's been a tough go in the transfer year for Warwick. Number 4 in career scoring among active players.
Will be matched up with Onyema.
Larry with a long inbound. And it's to Pryor. Back into the hands of the freshman Johnson. Tough sledding for him. Baseline feed. Kaluma. Johnson wide open. And still will not go. Kaluma. Offensive rebound. Put back. Second chance.
And getting no help support. And Martin makes him pay.
Gators have won 16 of 17 here at home. Missouri surprised them by ripping the nets in the first half of their game midweek, and the Tigers held on to win. Here's Kaluma. There you go.
And that's just walk him up to the logo and release and go get it.
Kaluma with the ball fake. Oh, wow. What a two-hand finish. Pay-per-view prelims 8 Eastern on ESPN News and ESPN Plus. To order the main card, go to espnplus.com/ppv. Offensive rebound for Texas, second chance. Kaluma sneaks through. What a pass from Pope.
To an early mismatch, just like on that occasion, the guard got caught guarding Chenula. It's lights out.
An assist to Aberdeen on that one. 8.5 to play. Skip all the way to Kaluma. Condon can't quite cut him off, and with the left.
About Tennessee and Auburn already on the slate. Pope, Tremont Mark, transfer from Arkansas. Trey Johnson, the electric freshman. Shedrick and Kaluma inside.
With Kaluma, 49% from deep on the year.
McGee inside was blocked by Kaluma.
McGee had some success in the Georgia game that way.
Julian Larry on the floor for the first time. Kaluma with the left-handed finish. Kaluma with the left-handed finish. Won the foul. He'll get the steal and the lay-in. A quick four.
The game, 63 of his 73 shots were from deep.
Johnson, Kaluma will play the two-man game. Here's Kaluma. Finds a way to the rim. And Johnson, seen a couple go in after struggling, start to get into a rhythm. And in their film room last night, Tom, they said, look, this isn't necessarily about defending Texas's plays as much as it is their players. You better take pride in your one-on-one matchup. So far, the Texas guards handling that okay.
Meanwhile, Tennessee's sloppy. 8 turnovers, 7 made buckets. Here's Kaluma. Beautiful reverse off the window. He's coming off of a career.
Shedrick, he'll kick it back out. Johnson, the runner. It's no good. Here's Kagan Shedrick again. Diving on the floor for it. Driving the baseline is Kaluma and lays it in.
In all of college basketball, he is a guy who shoots 40.3% from the three-point line, and I think he's even better than that.
Welcome.
Wants to go. He doesn't look super quick. He doesn't look super athletic, but he finds a way to get it done, and he's much more athletic and quicker than your eyes lead you to believe.
Averaging 18 and 11. That Joomer.
Broom, Shaquille O'Neal, you know he's doing something pretty good. And right now, if you're Texas on this other end, what happened in that Texas A&M game, they allowed their offense or lack thereof in the second half to affect their defense. They can't allow that to happen in today's game versus Auburn. Nice move.
Kaluma, the up and under.
Hey, he wanted to get up more shots.
Yeah, he was getting in extra work today. He went 2 of 13 against A&M the other night. Here's Jordan Pope. Kaluma, good ball fake. Spinning off the glass. Kaluma now in double figures. 7 Eastern. Then you got Giannis and the Bucks. Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. NBA countdown. It tips off our coverage at 6:30.
Giannis just keeps getting better, doesn't he?
SGA, though. He is in a
sword
of thunder.
Something different.
Yes. 15 points now for Kelly. He's got a game high. Kaluma, the 3.
11 assists and only 6 turnovers. Whether it's an SEC or a national championship, there will be a cost that you'll have to pay. And right now, the Auburn Tigers are displaying that they're willing to pay the cost for championships.
And folks, my partner knows all about winning an SEC championship. Heck, he was the captain of that squad, that Auburn squad who did it. Here's another 3. A couple of blocks here tonight. In fact, Auburn and Alabama, the only 2 NCAA Division I squads with 2 players ranked in the top 20 active career blocks. Broom, who's number 1, and Cardwell, who's 16. Hey, Kaluma. Kaluma. Mid-range.
SEC in basketball, not 241st in RPIs, and he's certainly done that from top 25 wins.
How about Arthur Kaluma?
Their size and their mobility, they give their team something special, whether it's rim protection, offensive rebounding, and inside presence, and you need those in college basketball, Brian.
Well, double-double tonight for Broome, 18 and 12 to go along with 3 blocks. Said it earlier, he is on pace to be the first SEC player to average 15, 10, and 2 blocks, and Shaquille O'Neal did it in 91. Lays it in.
Got to stop the ball if you're Texas defensively. You can't outscore the Tigers.
Kaluma for 3.
Big shot.
Transfer. Bullies his way down low, and the jump hook is short. 2 for 8 start for A&M. Johnson dumps it off, and Kaluma gets under the basket.
That's what you have to do.
Playing right into A&M's defense's hands. A&M's 6th in the country in defensive efficiency. Texas takes it away. Jordan Pope with the steal. Nearly lost the dribble. Kaluma in transition. Good. And that's what Texas wants to do.
Worried that, hey, this team can have a 6-0, 9-0 run in no time. You cannot get comfortable.
There's too many empty possessions for both sides. Texas shooting just 35% in this one. Mark gives it up. Kaluma had Trey Johnson wide open on the wing.
Yeah, got to look opposite when you catch it in the middle of the court.
And Rodney Terry told him today he wanted him more aggressive once they got through that press. Beautiful finish off the window by Arthur Kaluma. He's into double.
So oftentimes you'll see guys miss shots they would ordinarily make because of this relentless pressure from A&M.
Throw down by Kaluma. Baker's dozen for him.
Offensive rebound cleared by Willie Williams, and driving back in as Patterson had his shot partially blocked, and the Longhorns come away with it in transition. Kaluma driving through traffic, a left-hander off the glass for 2. And inbounded. It's kind of slicing through traffic as Patterson, but he missed the runner, and the rebound cleared for Texas by Caden Shedrick. Front to Johnson. Trey being overplayed, got rid of the ball into the corner. A wide open Kaluma. He'll pass on the 3. His pass was deflected, but Weaver got it back. Now to Johnson. Trey again to Kaluma. This time he'll shoot the 3 and connect.
Great job with Trey. Shedrick switches on him. White straight away. Now dribbles into a double team, kicks it. The 3 with 1 second to go is no good by Jacobs. Here comes Tremont Mark the other way. Down the left side, gets into the middle. Fakes the shot. Kaluma fakes the 3. 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, and then lays it in easily with the left. Good. Here's White. Kaluma draws that assignment. White now is going to shoot the 3 over Shedrick. Too long, and Kendall Weaver climbs the ladder for the rebound. Pope goes down on the block to Shedrick, draws a double team. Wide open look. Kaluma for 3, nothing but net.
Balled up. He's had high hands. He's done a good job of not fouling on those shots.
New Orleans now 0 for 7 to start this ball game. Mark out top. Here's Shedrick left wing. Down low, Kaluma in traffic. Count the basket. He lays it in. Beats the lead. 6:15 to go. White on the attack and up and over. Kaluma no good. Tipped around, and Texas gets it. Here comes Weaver the other way. Right side, Weaver. Now gets into the middle. Picks it up. Larry faked the 3 to Weaver. Hands it off to Kaluma. Tees up the 3. Got the 3. The shot off. 4 on the clock. Jacobs with Weaver on him. Puts up a tough shot. No good. And boy, Devon Pryor climbs the ladder.
Yes, he did.
Here comes Texas the other way. Pope, the trailer. Pryor whips it in the corner. Kaluma fakes the 3. Defender off his feet. Lays it up and in. Arthur Kaluma with 13.
Looking for back-to-back triples. The early miss. A sweet stroke, your response from Auburn after going up against him 4 straight years. But has found a new home here in Austin these past 2 seasons. Kaluma, good poise, confidence. A lot of fresh faces as well this year. They do have 3 players back from the team that faced Texas 2 seasons ago. Kaluma showing some handles on the reverse and the finish.
A couple of mentors over there as well. It's always good to come back on Alumni Day and see all those guys. Guys that paved the way before us, there'll be guys after us.
So Rodney Terry called that last time out. as Texas, 2 turnovers already this second half, has already matched their first half tally.
Talk about things that you want to work on.
Kaluma gets hacked.
Things you want to introduce your guys to as much as you can before so they're not blindsided when it comes to league play, and very much so when it comes to the NCAA tournament.
In both these rosters, significant turnover from last year. UAPB losing their 2 all-SWAC performers. Kaluma!
Rodney Terry mentioned Mark specifically to us, talking about the heightened level of urgency he wants. Said he's been practicing with more pace and urgency since the loss on Sunday. Kaluma drives, gets the roll. 2 seasons ago, said he's worked more on his offense in practice than perhaps before the loss Sunday against UConn.
And it only makes them better.
Cook, short this time. Kaluma gets the rebound. Onyema 6'9", 235. Coming in just under 10 minutes a game. That's the screen for Julian Larry. And then Onyema finds Kaluma. Fades, scores off the glass.
The other tall freshman that was guarding him.
Saudy Jackson gets his first 2. Now Johnson with Harris 2 inches shorter covering it. Aggies still in the zone as we're under 6 minutes to go first half. Kaluma for 3. Got it.
And Texas is definitely listening to what coach has been telling them.
So it's 8 assists for Texas. Their season high 21 in a win over Chicago State. This is a much better opponent tonight. Kaluma long range 3. Yes.
Yeah, no coach wants to look ahead, right? And you got to take it one game at a time. But at the same time, you also see what's ahead. And the SEC, as I said before, is not going to do you any favors. You know, to open up league play with those 5 opponents that they'll face is, it's got to be one of the toughest openings in the country.
I think Joe Lenardi has a nice pass. Larry to Kaluma.
Coach Terry would preach to his guys, and you can't be intimidated by it. You got to embrace it and be ready to go in there and play.
I mean, there's no break. Maybe a few weeks ago, you see Missouri is here, January 21st. You thought, well, maybe that'd be a little easier, and maybe it will be. But again, Missouri at home, whipping #1 Kansas just a few days ago. Julian Larry, second.
Who have beat both USC and UCLA this year is no easy feat. So
could be showtime here. Kaluma.
Great feed. Diarra finds Caravan, and it has been a passing and cutting clinic by Connecticut here in the first half. Kaluma, the step back, and it goes. Kaluma on the drives and kicks. Ball gets it off. Misses the 3, and a strong rebound between a couple of Huskies by Kaluma. Mark. Kaluma for 3, and it'll go. As Johnson, everybody wearing visiting blue is having a good game today.
Oh, and you need stops right now. Texas isn't going to get back in this game by just making shots. They're going to have to get stops.
Kaluma for 3. They got a double-digit lead. Caravan a deep one. And the rebound to Weaver, trying to stay in bounds, and he finds Johnson. Johnson into the corner, now Caravan on him.
Got the switch.
Wants to clear out, wants some space to drive. Kaluma, yes!
What a great crossover.
Larry wide open. Misses the 3, tipped around, and another possession for Texas. Johnson, great find! What a feed to Kaluma! Most of the scoring, 24 for Johnson, 18 in the second half. But these are seconds that are ticking away right now, down to 1:20. Johnson off a screen, kicks it to Kaluma. Good look. Got it! And it's 73.
Bowling Green had him at 6'4". I don't know what they do out in Ohio, but obviously a terrific scorer last year in the MAC.
And before that, he was at Southern Union State. You're forgiven if you don't know exactly where that is. But he was on the map because he led all of junior college in scoring.
It's down there in the state of Alabama.
Weaver cut off. Shot clock at single digits. There's Kaluma. Oh, what a strong move. Baited him into.
Johnson. Nice. Here's pass. Little shake, off balance. Body's on the floor, and the rebound comes down to Texas. Weaver. Kaluma on the run. Shot out of cannon.
Johnson down the floor to Arthur Kaluma, working his way. Double team, throws it up. Gets the board. Still working hard underneath and gets it to fall.
In the game is Tremont Mark. Now, this young man has a lot of playing under his belt. He can be a difference as well. Those two guys on the wing, woo, two of the best in the nation.
Yeah, Mark, number 12 for Texas, making his Moody Center debut. Missed a few games with an ankle injury. Meanwhile, it's Kaluma. Challenge with a couple of tough matchups coming up. And again, trying to get the chemistry right with 10 new faces as they force the turnover. Mark lobs it, and the alley-oop to Kaluma.
Communication a little bit more on their zone. Coach Waterman talked about having the guys on the backside of the zone that could really communicate, and you see them pointing, communicating. Can they slow Texas down a bit?
You may have to take the headband off. Texas hasn't hit a field goal in 4.5 minutes.
Oh, whoa. Wait a minute. I put it back on now, so maybe this will open up something. Here we go. Let's see.
I think you jinxed him. Kaluma, never mind.
Break glass.
Both recently surpassed the 1,000 career point marker for Texas this year. The Longhorns are going to have 5 1,000-point scorers before it's all said and done.
For Texas, sets up Johnson, who breaks a three, which is tracked down by Weaver, whose motor never stops. O'Reilly Auto Parts starting 5 for Texas. Kaluma and Shedrick the bigs, Pope, Johnson, Weaver the guards. Tremont Mark will come off the bench in his second game back. Kaluma with patience and precision.
Hitting Shedrick right there, showing you how versatile he is down low on the block.
Reynolds transition three, tracked down by Kaluma. St. Joe's a high percentage of shots from three. Kaluma, a rare three-point try. John Simmons in for Haskins, who went 1 for 2. Simmons' first action of the game. Full pressure applied. Texas breaks it easily. Johnson out of the double. Onyema popped in the air by Simpson. What a catch by Kaluma. And then Kaluma finishes. That's what he... Nice find by Simpson. Wide open miss by Brown. Here's Johnson. The bump from Simpson. Over to Larry. Kaluma again. And Kaluma with it. Kaluma's there. Skips it to Bell, who's missed his first 2. On the deck, Bell is stripped. Shedrick with a takeaway after a couple of early baskets.
Got away with the pull and the hand, but you got to play through it and be strong with the ball for Chris Bell.
Really strong drive. Kaluma just over.
There you go.
Makes it 3. First 2-point try of the game, and Onyema was there to go straight up and take it away. Julian Larry, Indiana State transfer, down low and a tough. This kid's got range from anywhere. Finds Starling. In and out for 3. Another rebound for Kaluma, who's got 5 to go with 3 assists and 6 points. Trey Johnson operating with the ball right now. He's only hit 1 shot from the field, 1 for 4. Freshman at 23.5 per game so far. Into Kaluma. Boy, that's pretty. Isn't going, so a little bit more balance to his game. The shots have not been falling yet.
What did you say during shoot around today? Like if Chris Bell has a game where he's 6 of 10 from the 3-point line, you feel like Syracuse is going to win. But if he has a game where he's 1 of 10, no way.
And he's had both. Kaluma leans in high off the window. He's
impressed with this Texas team defensively. Each and every possession, people have been down in the stance. You've been hearing a lot of communication from the back end of the defense, the bigs, guys like Shedrick, Kaluma, talking to the guards around what the schemes are, staying in those schemes defensively, plugging the gaps, breaking down from the weak side. Just doing the little things you need to do to be a great.
Syracuse still lingering. This game's gone from 16 down to 11 a couple of times now. Can they get it closer? Can they get a stop? Julian Larry off the bench. Kaluma, space to operate, steps inside, and scores it.
He was 2/3 right.
A little 3-2 zone, looks like. Those corners are going to be key. You already see Trey Johnson going corner to corner. They're vulnerable.
Mississippi Valley State will look for another stop here as they're back within one score. We were last tied at 10 points apiece. Kaluma able to find the angle. Julian Larry, first year with the Longhorns, coming over from Indiana State. True point guard for Texas. Great job. Pope, the spin. Kaluma in for a closer look and a little scoop. And the drought is over for the Delta Devils. It's about a 4.5-minute drought. Texas now just on a modest 14-2 run. Kaluma. And nifty reverse.
First drives and scores. Former Georgia Tech commit just 2 years ago had eligibility issues, so he spent last season at South Plains College in Levelland, Texas, before making his way to Chicago. Kaluma, this time it goes in.
The defensive end.
That's one area Texas has done very well this season, forcing turnovers and not committing many themselves.
Good movement by Texas, spreading that floor. Pope having the chance to go inside. How about that? Really sound.
They still have not committed a turnover.
But I'm talking about rebounding principles, talking about spacing on the floor. Everything is very, very impressive.
Alley-oop.
At Wichita State, and even before that, he was a scout for the Philadelphia 76ers. So Scott Spinelli has been around.
From Massachusetts, but says he's gotten used to Chicago deep dish pizza. Double on Larry. Triple for a moment. And able to find Kaluma around the rim. Bucket falls.
Oh, nice fall away jump shot that time. Good job by Greg Spake for the Cougars.
Before that, Texas had its biggest lead. Now 64-29. Pryor, an offensive touch, finds Kaluma for an open three. Yes.
No, you can't do it.
Bryson Dawkins 6, 2.5 minutes in. Julian Larry on the floor now for Texas as Jordan Pope takes to the bench. Larry, one of Texas's 2 transfers from Indiana State. Jason Kent the other. Kaluma for 3.
We've come out and shot a few open threes, and you like to see them get the ball inside, whether offensive rebounds or post feeds.
Shedrick wrestles the rebound away from Trent Johnson off the Dawkins miss. Kaluma steps in and fires. Yes. 5 in the early going. Johnson 5 points so far in the first half. 29 Monday record for a Texas freshman in his debut. He drives, finds Kaluma. Longhorns looking for their 23rd straight win in a home opener. HCU giving them all they can handle so far. Kaluma this time drives, lays it in. 9 for Mackey, the senior from Grayson, Georgia. Kaluma gets the step inside Williams. 2 and a foul.
Great job.
Kaluma 11 points in the first half. Drives in with the left hand around the rim and out. Grabbed his own rebound. Hangs. Scores.
We love to see.
Mackey. Now 2 in the shot clock. Off balance 3. Like how it's been for Texas and HCU. Dominance by the Longhorns since the break.
Texas has just settled in on the defensive end right here. That's been the difference in the game so far.
Kaluma gets in on the act.
2 minutes into the game. Open look for Bradshaw, misses wide left. And the rebound tracked down underneath by Kendall Weaver.
And make no mistake, this is how Texas wants to play. They want to play fast as well. Certainly both teams looking to play with great tempo.
This is Arthur Kaluma gets the long
show tonight, guys.
Yeah, everyone you talk to, Taylor, within this program talks about what a grinder he is, a worker, a gym rat, everything you want from a first-year player with his skill set. As he takes his first little baby steps into his college basketball career here in Las Vegas.
And, I think it's interesting because I think everybody focuses on the first game, but this is a whole season. It's about getting better, evolving.
Trey Johnson, boy, he checks that box. Oh. Kaluma, hard put back. Just makes winning plays, according to what Jake Diebler told us earlier tonight. Richie Johnson, open three, won't go. So an 8-point game. Boy, beautiful dive inside. It's Kaluma. Boy, the pretty look from the freshman.